Hi everyone, Patrick here. Welcome to SFF Spotlight episode 66. And of course, just like always, I will get started immediately because we have about 20 topics to cover. But if you are somehow new here, this is where I will talk about new book news, new cover reveal, new special edition, Kickstarter campaign, and also noteworthy release in the adult science fiction and fantasy genre. Let's start with new book news first. The first one is about Wind and Truth by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 5th book in the Stormlight Archive, and it will conclude the first arc of the Stormlight Archive, the first out of 2 arcs, because in total it will be 10 books of epic fantasy. Yeah, they are massive, and Wind and Truth has been confirmed to be 500,000 words long. So it is a huge one. But recently, Dragonsteel teased a reveal of Wind and Truth, and not gonna lie, many of us thought it would be a cover reveal, but apparently it is not a cover reveal. It is a Wind and Truth read along, and I think it will begin this week. So starting from this week, Tor.com will post a new chapter of Wind and Truth, and many of you can begin early. Now, well, most of the time, and usually I don't read these preview chapters. I prefer getting the advanced reading copy or the finished copy and just read Wind and Truth. I cannot stand reading these chapters weekly by weekly. I think it is suffering, but I don't know. Let's see whether I will do that or not, but right now I don't think I will. But if you are interested in doing that, then now you know. And then the second news, this is about a new book by Ilona. This is an epic fantasy romance saga, and the title is Maggie the Undying. If you don't know who Ilona Andrew is, this is a duo author, and they are very famous for the urban fantasy series called Kate Daniels. I remember back then when I started using Goodreads, and back then so many people were reading Kate Daniels, and many of them love this series. I still haven't read Kate Daniels yet, not gonna lie, the cover art is awful. I really cannot stand the cover art of Kate Daniels, but at the same time, I'm kind of intrigued by the premise and also the positive receptions. I'm a fan of the Dresden Files, so maybe someday I will be reading the Kate Daniels series for sure. But yeah, there's a new series coming from Ilona Andrews, and this one is published by Tor Books, and it will be coming in the year 2025. And it has been pitched as the Game of Thrones meet Outlanders. So yeah. Now, there are 2 more books coming in the year 2025, and these 2 books, they are both self-published fantasy books, and I'm excited about the both of them. Well, the first one is about the continuation to Dreams of the Dying by Nicolas Lietzau. So yeah, the second book in the 12 World series is coming in the year 2025, and it is being released in January and February 2025. So there will be 2 books because I think Nicolas Lietzau mentioned that it's better to divide this one big book into 2 books. So it will be part 1 and part 2, releasing in January and then February, The Cure for Living. Obviously, Dreams of the Dying is one of my top favorite books of all time, and it is one of my top favorite self-published fantasy books. So yeah, I'm so looking forward to reading The Cure for Living. I think I read Dreams of the Dying in the year 2020 or 2021, and ever since then, I cannot stop thinking about it. It is such a great book. If you love character-driven fantasy, if you love the sound of Inception in a Polynesian fantasy setting, please give Dreams of the Dying a read, and then read The Cure for Living together with me and the other fans of 12 World series. After that, we have the 3rd book in the Ill-Born saga by Daniel T. Jackson. The title has been revealed, and it is called Gatebound. This one is being released in early 2025. I love Ill-Born, I love I Dual Sin, so of course I'm looking forward to reading this as well. The Ill-Born saga will be 4 books long, and this one will be the 3rd and the penultimate installment in the Ill-Born series. After the ending of I Dual Sin, I think the title Gatebound is awesome. I know where, probably I know where the story is going, but I'm so looking forward to finding out how everything will turn out in Gatebound. But yeah, looking forward to reading this. And now we are on to Kickstarter campaign. I only have 2 Kickstarter campaigns to spotlight today. The first one is about the first volume of Defiance of the Fall by J.F. Brink. This is a lit RPG, and this is published by Wraithmarked Creative, with the cover art done by Joshua Raphael and his new team, the Dive 8 studio, with the design by Sean T. King. I think this is one of the best cover art published by Wraithmarked Creative so far. The series itself is huge though. I think in total right now it's 13 books long, and I heard from the fans of the series there is a good chance the series will go up to 20 or more volumes. So I cannot imagine Wraithmarked Creative publishing this series for 20 years, but I don't know. I don't know what's the plan here, but as far as the cover art of the first book goes, cover art and design, this looks incredible. Looks absolutely beautiful in my opinion, and I cannot wait to get a copy of it and hopefully read it whenever it's out. And next we have the Unavowed anthology by Shawn Speakman. I'm so excited about this because this is a collection of short stories from some of my favorite self-published fantasy authors such as M.L. Wang, Rob J. Hayes, Ryan Cahill. There are so many self-published fantasy authors contributing their story to this anthology, and it will be edited by Shawn Speakman from Grim Oak Press. So yeah, obviously I'm so looking forward to reading this one. There is a Kickstarter campaign going on for this, but I don't think it has gone live yet. So make sure to check out the Kickstarter campaign page before it's live. I have seen the cover art by Li Xin Yin and it is beautiful. I think, well, it is Shawn Speakman. It is published by Shawn Speakman from Grim Oak Press. So it is very likely that this edition will be stunning like always. But speaking of Grim Oak Press, now let's talk about special editions. The first one that I want to mention, this is about Servant of the Empire by Raymond E. Feist and also Janny Wurts, Grim Oak Press edition with the cover art and also interior illustrations by Janny Wurts. I love this trilogy very much. Revolt Empire trilogy is one of my top favorite trilogies of all time. And this is the second book. This is the continuation to Daughter of the Empire. And it will be possible, I think, to pre-order this book, this edition, from the 24th of July. So yeah, that's this week. And yeah, this is not the only special edition being published this week. There is another one, and this is for Jade City Subterranean Press edition. Jade City by Fonda with the cover art and interior illustrations by Micah Epstein. But this one, I think it will be very difficult to get a copy unless you own a copy of Jade Shards. If you have a copy of Jade Shards, and I think in total there are 1,200 copies of Jade Shards, then you will have the rights to compete to get a copy of Jade City Subterranean Press edition, which will be limited to 600 copies. And the price of this one is $225 plus shipping. So yeah, it is an expensive edition, but it is from Subterranean Press with the cover art and interior illustrations by Micah Epstein. And when it comes to characters, it is hard to find an artist better than Micah Epstein, in my opinion. Anyway, so yeah, really best of luck to every one of us who want to get a copy of Jade City Subterranean Press edition. But if you own a copy of Jade Shards numbered edition from Subterranean Press, then it is possible to pre-order Jade City Subterranean Press edition on the 23rd of July. So that's tomorrow. And Jade City and Servant of the Empire are not the only special edition going on sale this week. There is another one. This is Malazan, Book of the Fallen, the first 3 books by Stephen Erickson, the Broken Binding edition. And yeah, so many artists are involved in this one. And I got some questions about why did I choose the scene for the cover art of book 1 and book 2 and also book 3. Well, here's a bit of a fun fact. I already mentioned this actually, but I did not choose the cover art for book 1 and book 2. I helped with the artwork and also the art brief, but the Broken Binding chose the scene for the cover art of book 1 and book 2. I chose the cover art for book 3 and also the end papers. But yeah, I did help with all the art brief of this series, and I'm really proud with the result. I think some people just overestimate my authority as an art director. It's not like I say something and that it immediately happened. We still have to discuss with the team and also the publishers. So yeah, it is overall always a teamwork. Not gonna lie, the board art by Mark Simonetti looks absolutely stunning. I have always been a fan of this board artwork as well. So now I have options to display the dust jacket or the board art. Seriously, Mark Simonetti was really on fire when he was illustrating every artwork for Malazan, Book of the Fallen. And yeah, I'm really happy with the end paper and also the dust jacket and the board art. I've always wanted a hardcover edition of Malazan, Book of the Fallen, and now it's getting closer. And I think this edition will ship in the month of September. That's the first batch anyway, because due to a huge number of copies, this edition will have, it will be divided into several cells. But yeah, I'm very excited about this, and I hope you are as well. As some of you might know, the Malazan Book of the Fallen Broken Binding edition is one of the biggest probably the biggest project from the Broken Binding so far. But there's another big project from the Broken Binding, and it is of course the Sun Eater by Christopher Ruocchio. And finally, the last end paper artwork for Demon in White, the front and back end paper have been revealed. The front end paper featured a Colchis, and this one, I think if you have read the book, you will know what planet this is. Colchis is one of my favorite planets in the entire Sun Eater series. As for the back end paper, this is about the Battle of Berenike or Berenike. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, well, I will not go into details about this artwork, but Renee Eichner did a great job on this end papers. I think they are some of my favorite end paper in the entire Sun Eater series, especially Colchis. I have always wanted to portray that the Sun Eater is not only about epic battles, but about heartwarming and emotional scenes and camaraderie as well. And I think this piece definitely captured that emotion. But starting from next week, I think it is time to reveal the cover art and also the reversible cover artwork. I hope many of you will like it. If you don't like the cover art, then well, there's the option for the reversible dust jacket and also vice versa. But moving on to the next topic, I still have two special editions I want to spotlight, and then we will talk about cover reveals. The next one is about The Teller of Small Fortunes, the UK edition by Julie Long. If you pre-order this from, I think, Waterstones, you will get this edition with this unique end papers. I actually just got a copy of The Teller of Small Fortunes, the US Adventuring Copy Edition. And not gonna lie, The Teller of Small Fortunes sounds like a really good cozy fantasy. So I'm looking forward to reading this, hopefully within this year, maybe in the middle of a break from my usual intense fantasy and sci-fi books. And finally, the last special edition I want to spotlight, this is about The Grace Given by Toon and Fair Weather. This is their best looking production so far, because this one is based on Elden Ring, and they definitely went all out on this production. And if you have the budget for this expensive premium edition, then I think it will be so worth the money, at least from the pictures and videos. They really went all out on this production. I don't own anything from Toon and Fairweather, but based on everything I've heard online, well, pretty much everyone agreed that they are some of the best looking production with books, even though they are more game related rather than fantasy or sci-fi novels related. But that's it on the coverage of special edition. Now let's move on to cover reveals. The first one is for the cover reveal of a new box set of A Song of Ice and Fire by George Martin. So there's a new box set coming in October 2025, and it looks beautiful, not gonna lie, but I don't think I'll be getting a copy of this one. I own 3 edition published by Folio Society, and I treasure them. I don't need another copy of A Song of Ice and Fire, especially when I already have a copy of Folio Society edition. But if you want a new box set of A Song of Ice and Fire, then there is the option. And then after that, this is about a new graphic novel of Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. The cover art is done by Fred Fortham, and this will be published in March 2025. I really need to get around to reading the books of Earthsea. I heard so many wonderful things about this series, but somehow, until today, I still haven't read this series yet. Hopefully, I can fix that situation really soon. But I really like the cover art here. I think it is a beautiful cover art. The design really match the simplicity of the cover artwork. And the next cover art I want to spotlight, this is about a new debut coming in 2025. This is A Language of Dragons. This is a debut novel from S.F. Williamson, and the cover art is done by Ivan Belikov. Instantly, when I saw this cover art revealed, I knew immediately that this is Ivan Belikov's artwork, because it reminded me of Samantha Shannon's books, The Priory of the Orange Tree and also The Day of Fallen Night. And this is a beautiful cover art, and I think this is about alternate history. The story in A Language of Dragons, if I'm not mistaken, take place in London. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Onward to the next one, and then we will start talking about sub-published fantasy books cover reveal. This is about Night Strider by Sophia Slate. The cover art is done by Irina Nordsol. To stop a vicious demon's conquest, nightmares and humans must band together together in Night Strider. And I think this one was originally a self-published fantasy book, and now it's traditionally published by Orbit. I think, but I could be wrong about that. And now let's talk about self-published fantasy cover reveal. The first one is about Reckoning by Michael R. Miller. This is the fourth book in the Songs of Chaos series, a Dragon Rider progression epic fantasy series. And just like the previous two books, the cover art once again is done by Randy Vargas. And well, from this cover art, it seems like bad things is about to happen to Holt and Ash. Unfortunately, I mean, they are so bloody in this cover art here. And I love Randy Vargas. I think he is one of the best illustrators. And this one, I think, will be released in the year 2025. There is no final release date for Reckoning yet. But you know what? If you want a signed paperback copy, it is possible to order from Forbidden Planet now. Yeah, signed paperback with an art print or map, if I'm not mistaken. I think this is quite a big deal. It means that you will be able to see Songs of Chaos, a self-published fantasy books, on Forbidden Planet. And yeah, that's really cool. I have read the first two books in the series. I really need to get around to Defiance, the third book in the series, which has been considered by many fans of Songs of Chaos to be the best of the entire series so far. Then moving on to the next one, this is about Dungeon Crawler Car by Matt Dinniman. The cover art of the seventh book has been revealed, and this is once again illustrated by Luciano Fleitas. And I haven't read Dungeon Crawler Car yet, and I know many people have told me that I need to read this series as soon as possible because it is super fun lit RPG series that many people really enjoyed. And also, it's rare to find a lit RPG or fantasy series that can make me laugh out loud. And many people told me that this will be that kind of series that will succeed at doing that. So yeah, looking forward to reading this. And if you don't know, Dungeon Crawler Carl is also now being traditionally published. I think the first three books. And for this traditionally published edition, the cover art is done by Will Still. I personally love the cover art of the self-published fantasy edition so much more than the traditionally published edition. But again, it's good to have options. And finally, the last cover reveal I want to spotlight today, this is about the Famine Cycle Omnibus Edition by J.D.L. Rossell with the cover art done by Omer Burak Onal. It has been a while since I spotlighted a cover art or artwork from Omer Burak Onal on my YouTube channel, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to do that in this episode because this is absolutely gorgeous in my opinion. I still haven't read anything by J.D.L. Rossell though, so if you have read some books from J.D.L. Rossell, do let me know what you think about his books. And now moving on to the final section of today's episode of SFF Spotlight, time to talk about noteworthy release, and I have two books to spotlight today. The first one is Herald by Rob J. Hayes, the first book in the Age of the God Eater. It is out now. It is possible to buy the paperback and also the ebook edition of Herald by Rob J. Hayes. I still haven't read Herald yet because I'm waiting for the hardcover edition to arrive, and then I will start that immediately. But I have read Demon and Deathless. Both of them are in my list of favorite books of the year so far, and I expect Herald to achieve the same achievement. Hopefully that will come true because Herald is the biggest book of the entire God Eater saga so far. And then after that, finally, the last topic in today's video, this is about The Sundered Moon by Zamar Amer. This is the second and the last book in the Books of Astea duology, a grimdark fantasy duology with a literary quality to the prose. That's what I heard. Anyway, I look forward to reading this series, Riven Earth and also Sundered Moon. Both of them have been getting some very positive reception from early readers. That's pretty much it for today's episode of SFF Spotlight. And of course, just like always, do let me know what you think about the news that I spotlighted today and which one was the most beneficial to you. And well, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support. Bye-bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.